I'm ready to go.
Hi, Steven. First of all, can I just get the team news, and then can I just ask, you obviously mentioned Glenn Kamara's contract situation last night. You also spoke about that back after the Old Firm game back in October. I'm just wondering if you can tell us exactly where that situation is and if there's any sign of any progress.
In terms of the team, the update injury-wise, we've come through last night with no issues. There's a little bit of obviously fatigue and little bumps and that you normally get, but no one's a concern for the weekend, so that's a real big positive for us. In terms of Glenn, look, it is where it is. It's pretty simple. It's my job to advise when I think people deserve to be rewarded. It's my job to advise when I predict there's a lot of noise around a certain individual, and obviously trying to protect the club, the board, the team, and everyone from a situation where we could lose one of our best players. So that's the reason why I said last night that we need to try and move his personal situation forward. The board are aware of it, they're on the same page, and I think it'll only be a matter of time, but basically that is my job and that's what I did.
Andrew McLean, please.
He's still got 2.5 years left in his deal. Is it just a concern of rewarding him for performances, but also sort of staving off the interest from outside?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's also to send a message that we're trying to build a team here. Everyone's working ever so hard to move the team forward. I think the last thing we need now is to lose a big piece of that jigsaw. Glenn has been absolutely sensational since he's come in. And it's not just about what you've got left on your contract. It's about what you deserve. It's about protecting yourself from the future, what could possibly happen. Glenn's happy, he's enjoying his football, he loves it here, and he's worked ever so hard. So for me, it's the right thing to do.
Andrew McLean, please.
Hi, Steven. Does the fact that he could potentially be going to the Euros next summer as well heighten that? Because we've seen, player values soar with good performances at major tournaments.
Well, look, I think obviously the tournament getting delayed, we couldn't control anything about that. But one thing's for sure, we had every confidence Glenn was going to go there and perform ever so well, and we think he'll go and do that in the future. We're really looking forward to him going to represent Rangers in a good way. He's a magnificent player. We appreciate what he does. He's progressed. He's moved on ever so well. He's just a fantastic kid to work with. He does everything right, and I'd like to see him rewarded for that work that he's put in.
Rowan, go ahead.
You mentioned there, Stephen, a noise surrounding Glenn. You must be then aware that there's genuine interest in him, and can also extend that to a couple other lads, James Tavernier and Connor Goldson. They've got less time left on their deal, I think 18 months. Any movement there with regards to discussions, and are you equally keen to get them on new deals?
Well, look, the club are aware where everyone's contract situation is. We're aware of who is performing ever so well, who's going above and beyond, and who's performing very consistent at the moment. All the players are aware that we want to speak moving forward. It's about timing, but at the right time, if things keep going as they are, I'm sure the right people will be rewarded at the right time.
And you're talking about the noise there around Glenn, Stephen.
Yeah, well, look, it's only natural. It's only natural when you're performing well domestically. When you're putting in performance like last night consistently, it's only normal that there's a lot of people looking in, and there is a lot of noise around Glenn. He's not the only one. The European level, if you're performing well at that level, from my experience is, people are watching and looking in, and we need to protect ourselves from that.
Gabriel, go ahead, please.
Hi, Stephen. Just looking ahead to the weekend's game, what do you expect from Dundee United? And you talked a little bit about the team there. There's no fresh injury news. Are you expected to rotate a little bit from the 11 that started last night?
Well, I think you could see quite clearly last night the decisions we made. We obviously had one eye on the weekend's fixture, so I don't think it'll be any surprise to see a few changes in the 11. The good thing for me is that everyone's performing ever so well, everyone's training well, everyone's giving me something to think about. But look, there's a lot of football coming up. The games are coming thick and fast. Everyone needs to be ready to come in and contribute at the right time. But obviously we made decisions on last night's team selection and the substitutions with one eye on the weekend. So I don't think it'll surprise many when they see a different 11 at the weekend.
And David Edgar, please.
Sorry, Stephen, can you just about Dundee United as well? What did you expect from Dundee United?
A tough game. Obviously, there's some rivalry there. We expect a bit of needle in the game, which we welcome. Mickey Mellon's an experienced manager. He's been around for a long time. Good manager. I think he's come in and done ever so well at Dundee. It's a shame that he won't be there on the side, obviously for COVID reasons. But we expect him to have his team well drilled. They'll be competitive and they've got good players. So we're expecting a real tough challenge on Sunday at lunchtime.
David Edgar, please.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
A notable aspect of the team's performances recently is that even with personnel changes at times, it's really retained fluency and shape in its performances. What do you think are the key strengths behind that?
Well, I think everyone knows what we're about, what we try and do in terms of our philosophy, what the expectations are and the standards we've tried to set. New players have had enough time now to settle in. The idea was always to try and build a squad where you've got two players fighting for each position. In terms of the fight for the 11 shirts, the training intensity is really where we want it. So look, we're in a good place, but the challenge for us is you have to work even harder. You have to fight even more to retain your form, to keep everyone in a good place. You obviously need a little bit of luck along the way, to keep people fresh and healthy. And we also have to guard ourselves from the ongoing COVID situation. So that's what we're doing from day to day. But one thing's for sure, I'm really content and happy where the boys are at the moment. The challenge for everyone is, can we maintain it?
Cheers, guys. We're going to have Nathan Patterson in due course.
David, can we just ask Stephen, in terms of the teams that you could get, have you had a look? And do you think Rangers could hold their own against anyone up there?
I haven't had a look in depth in terms of a time, obviously aware of who's in the draw. Really looking forward to the draw. I think we deserve to look forward to it. Whoever we get, it's going to be tough. The good thing is, obviously, it'll be over two legs, and we're seeded and we finished top of the group. So we've done everything we can to give ourselves the best chance. But whoever we face is going to be a tough challenge over the two legs. But really excited for Monday. But we've got obviously a very important 90 minutes before we can relax and enjoy that.
Great.
Stephen, there's also been some reports this week of interest in Billy Gilmore and a youngster, Juan Alegría. Are you able to give us an update in either situation?
Not really. There's always a lot of paper talk. There's always a lot of speculation about a lot of players. From what I see from afar, I think Billy Gilmore's pretty settled at Chelsea. He's obviously had an injury. Every time I listen to Frank, he's really happy with the player. Fabulous little player, but there's been no contact between the clubs or the managers. I know Frank extremely well. I know his coaching staff extremely well. I think that's just people putting two and two together and looking for stories. But there's nothing in it from our side. But what I will say is a fabulous little player, and we wish him well.
Cheers, guys.
And then the other chap, one from who's playing in Finland.
Yeah, slightly different. There's obviously we're well aware of the player, the talent. We're always looking to recruit right through the club. This is something that the academy's had a closer eye on than myself, but very much aware of the boy, the talent, and there is something in that one, but there's nothing to report on it as of yet.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Andy.